High blood pressure is one of the most important risk factors for strokes and heart attacks, which is the leading cause of death in the entire world. But here's the twist. Research shows there's one nutrient deficiency that slowly raises blood pressure in millions of people, and most have no idea they're missing it. What's more shocking is that correcting this single deficiency can sometimes lower blood pressure as much as a prescription medication, and yet no one's really talking about it. So what is this missing nutrient? It's potassium. And before you think about adding another pill, this is the foundation that you need to get right because it can lower your numbers more than you realize. I'm Dr. Mitch Rice, board certified primary care physician and blood pressure expert. And today we're breaking down why potassium is so critical for blood pressure, how much your body actually needs, and the smartest way to add it back into your daily life. So why the heck does potassium matter in terms of blood pressure? Potassium isn't just a banana nutrient. It's actually the most important electrolyte that your body needs in the largest amount, far more than sodium, calcium, and magnesium. Our bodies actually require 2 times the amount of total potassium rather than sodium, yet salt is the thing that everyone loves to talk about. But here's the main problem with potassium. The average individual only gets about half of the potassium their body needs. That large gap can push your blood pressure higher without you even realizing it. Think of potassium as your body's balancing mineral. Sodium pulls water into your body, raising your blood pressure, whereas potassium helps the kidneys flush out that sodium and water, helping to lower your blood pressure. Without enough potassium, it's like sodium's running the show, and if that happens, your blood pressure's gonna be sky high. Now, there are 2 kinds of studies that show just how powerful potassium is. In one study, healthy men were split into 2 groups, one with normal potassium intake and the other with very low intake. After only 9 days, the low potassium group's blood pressure spiked significantly. Now, this same effect was seen in people who already had high blood pressure, where restricting potassium raised their numbers by about 5 points. Additionally, a meta-analysis of 22 clinical trials found that increasing potassium lowered systolic blood pressure by an average of 3 to 4 points. And when people hit the sweet spot of 3,500 to 4,700 milligrams per day, the drop was even bigger by about 7 points on average. Now you may be wondering, does lowering blood pressure by just 3 to 5 points actually make a difference? And the answer is absolutely. Clinical trials have shown time and time again that every 10-point drop in systolic blood pressure, or the top number on blood pressure, decreases the risk of fatal heart attacks by 22% and decreases the risk of strokes by 41%. Even smaller reductions, around 5 to 7 points, translate into real protection over time, especially in older adults or individuals who start with extraordinarily high numbers. Think of it this way, lowering blood pressure by anywhere from 3 to 7 points isn't just a statistic, but it's actually the difference between a healthy open artery and one that clots off, leading to a heart attack or a stroke. Here's the crux of the video, what I think a lot of people are missing. Remember how I talked earlier about people in blood pressure land constantly talking about sodium and not really talking about potassium? Well, there is some truth to that, but it's not just about how much sodium or how much potassium that you're eating, but rather the ratio of sodium to potassium. What I mean by this is the average American tends to eat 3 times the amount of sodium than they do potassium. In an ideal world, this ratio should be flipped, whereas people should be eating 3 times the amount of potassium versus sodium. You can think of it like a seesaw. If there's too much sodium and not enough potassium, This tips the scales in favor of higher blood pressure. But when potassium rises a bit, this helps even everything out and ultimately lower blood pressure. So how much potassium do you actually need in a day? Well, the World Health Organization recommends at least 3,500 milligrams per day, but the American Heart Association goes a little bit further and says anywhere from 4,700 to 5,000 milligrams per day. What's the problem with this? Well, supplements can't quite get you to where you need to be. Most supplements only have about 100 milligrams of potassium in a single pill. So what's the solution? The answer is food. Now, there are a ton of different food options that have a decent amount of potassium, but one resource that I find particularly helpful is the USDA's website, where it lists specific foods in order of how much potassium it has, ranking from the highest all the way down to the lowest. Some foods that I personally recommend are avocados, fattier fish such as salmon and mackerel, potatoes as well as sweet potatoes, bananas and other dried fruit, spinach, beans, lentils, and even chickpeas. These foods don't only give you potassium, but they also give you other healthy nutrients such as magnesium, antioxidants, and fiber, all of which have been shown to help lower blood pressure. Tactically, the way that you can introduce these foods into your diet is, instead of just eating plain white rice, add in some white rice with lentils. If you're a smoothie fan, you can blend up a little bit of spinach and put it in, and most of the time not even notice that there's a difference in flavor. Instead of eating potato chips, dice up some potatoes and put them in an air fryer. Small swaps like this done daily really start to add up. So here's my challenge to you. For the next week, at every single meal, add one of these foods in and see what happens with your blood pressure. This could mean avocado with your eggs and toast, or adding in some sweet potatoes at dinner. Try this for a week and write down in the comments below if you notice any change in your blood pressure. Now, if you can't remember everything that we talked about today, that's totally fine. I put together a free PDF discussing and highlighting all of the most important things from today's video in my Potassium Advantage for lowering blood pressure. You can grab that PDF completely for free in the link below. Now, potassium is absolutely essential for lowering blood pressure, but it's only one piece of the puzzle. Unless you address the hidden causes of high blood pressure, no matter how much potassium you eat, your blood pressure may still be high. If you haven't checked out my video, the top 3 hidden causes of high blood pressure, I definitely recommend doing it right here. Remember that your health is your superpower. This is Dr. Rice, and I will see you all on the next one.